Hi everyone. We all know, Europe is open for creative startups, and in today's episode, we are going to discuss with MAGNWALL, a technology startup helping architects, interior designers, and retailers turn their venues and product displays into flexible and successful stories. So, MAGNWALL is also the first company in the world that has developed completely electrified surfaces for wireless powering of devices and merchandises. We are going to interview the founders of MAGNWALL today. Obviously, that's all the show is all about. And we are going to discuss about their journey from day one to a state where they are right now, the growth or what progress is happening in the startup. And as you all know, this is India's first podcasting series for founders, where we help other people to learn the experience and the learnings from this interview. Okay, and we are going to experience a lot of new strategies. We are going to hear about a lot of challenges. We are going to hear a lot about new marketing analogies or new qualification metrics. What will be their product market strategy that has worked and failed at the same time. So we are going to cover every bit of the small things which are really important for your startup to grow. So in today's episode, we are going to discuss everything with MAGNWALL. So of the founders of the MAGNWALL as well. So, and I am Varun Nair, the host for the startup show, which is presented by Ampliz. So directly, we'll dive into the conversation. So before that, I'll introduce our founders, our dear beloved founders of MAGNWALL startup, Mr. Roman and Klaus, to this show. Thank you for joining this podcasting for today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. So, like I was mentioning to the audience, like about MAGNWALL technology, about what a technology company like which has grown from zero to a stage right now. So we will be discussing about all this thing in this episode. And the first question is, as usual, it's very simple: how, why, and what is MAGNWALL technology?
Well, I would probably start, and I will like to invite you to take first a look for a short video that
Definitely.
explains you and visualize you the product. You will also
Okay.
see the product behind us, but let me share with you the video so it would be easier for you to understand.
Absolutely.
So this
That
was
was
a short intro.
this
that,
was this is really a really great piece of technology, like plug in and connect kind of device, which is really great to see. So
we call it touch and play solution by MAGNWALL, and actually MAGNWALL revolutionized the way how people power up the devices.
okay.
And the most use of it you will find in the interior design, where flexibility plays a crucial role.
Yeah.
Like retailers, like museums, galleries, like exhibition stands, or maybe in the offices as well. So everywhere where you need to be super flexible, cost efficient, and turn your venues into effective venues, MAGNWALL comes in action.
Okay.
But the idea itself originated from retail design, and Klaus-Dieter tell you a bit more how we came.
Yeah, as coming from management consulting and being temporary managing director for a company with visual merchandising products, especially from expensive brands, I saw a lot of different things. Mostly we used so many kilogram of material for building a new shop window, like we had in the end as waste. And this was not really good for looking for resources. But the second part was we need a lot of time to integrate some electrified products in these shop windows and so on. And this was the starting point for me to think, can we find a better solution to reduce the waste, but also to reduce the time resources to change the shop windows? This was really the first moment. And from this time, I started to think about a different technical solution. And 2016, Roman was entering our company, the management consulting company, and we start from the first moment also to speak little bit about this MAGNWALL possibilities. And he find a lot of great ideas what can works in the business parts. And then we develop our technique and painted some patents, get some patents that we now can say we are the only company worldwide who can produce and deliver this technical solution.
So I would say our intensive journey started exactly in 2016. That time it was not the name MAGNWALL, the name appeared with a time later. And today the name is the combination of words magic, magnetic, plus wall. And in between there comes N, which associated with a rock and roll, with something was quite trendy and cool. So the whole...
And disruptive.
And disruptive, exactly.
It's also rock and roll for the music world.
Yes, so we are MAGNWALL as a rock and roll for the retail design and other interior designs.
Yeah, so as I was saying, this is why German innovation is really amazing. You take a car, Mercedes-Benz, you take anything like kitchen cabinets are mostly from German, and this is where you people are creating such an amazing innovation over the past period of time. And I find this really amusing that it's very easy to install. I mean, there is nothing to install, just you have to just fix it on the wall, that's it. And I find it really amazing. So how does the technology work? Like, is it a kind of a rechargeable battery, or is it connected to a power source, or the magnet which we are talking about? So how does it work actually?
I will show it to you a little bit. We have here the shelf. I can take the shelf from the wall.
Okay.
And here you see, these are the magnets on the wall, and these are our connector. With this connector, we get the energy from the wall. I can take it now back to the wall.
Okay.
In each position, I can do it also in this way.
Okay.
And it works. It's really easy.
So the wall is basically a surface that helps to generate electricity using the that back power source.
The wall takes the electricity from one socket.
Okay.
It converges, because it has a power supply, it converges the electricity from the socket to 24 volt and distribute to the all panels. Because behind the panel, as well as the video, so there are small panels, well, small 50 centimeters. So with those panels, you can build up literally any size of the surface. Klaus will show you how the panel looks like.
This is the panel behind?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a steel panel with a special coverage that gives you the electricity.
Okay, so there is an inductor base inside this panels which helps you to generate electricity.
Transmit the electricity.
Yes,
We take it from the socket and transmit to the circuit.
So
and
what?
The second point was a needle connector that Klaus showed.
And this panel has to be in metal, but this we need to use the magnets to take the products on the wall.
Okay, so my question is, how much power consumption does it take? Is it takes a minimal amount of power consumption, or it's like an average it takes?
For us, it's at the moment we have a solution that you can use. For each of this panel, 250 watt.
Okay.
But you get also panels from us for 500 watts.
Okay.
We're absolutely focusing on LED technology, so all the components that you will put onto the wall, right? Either it's shelf or lighting or any motor that moves.
It's monitor
It's a low voltage LED technology that also has a positive sustainability impact on the interior menus, as well as the costs are much lower in comparison to
Okay. And installation is not a big problem, just the walls, because the wall seems to be, I think it's based on each square feet, like how much do you want, and based on that, the installation will be done, right?
Yes.
Okay,
You have
great.
you have a special rack system behind, and this
Yeah.
you can take your panels in, and
Yeah.
then you have also the energy into the panels with this system.
Okay.
It's really
Okay.
easy, and you can change it every time you like.
Okay. So, as a consumer, like as a customer, if I want to have my own magnetic mag wall, is it possible for me to install it, or should I depend on you people for your services?
No,
It should be possible for you to install it, but to
Okay.
go to consumer market, it's a bit a different approach from the market where we go to B2B market. So we also see it as a big interest from many households who want to have it at home or maybe in some other private commercial areas. And it can be installed without specific knowledge or hand worker, but to get there, need to do some pre-work done, as well as to build our after sales in a different from today.
Okay, so let's talk about the topics, like whatever I'm going to ask. Like it's going to be simple. Like what are the challenges when you started off with a sketch to a product? What were the challenges you were facing while you're developing this product?
The challenges in developing the product, I think the main challenge is you always have a scarcity of resources, from finance to people to to different resources that you need to involve, and you're always in the high pressure of the time and of the expectations that you put towards yourself and your product. So I think the first challenge is really to get resources with the minimum resources to get maximum result. I would say this is the first challenge. A second challenge comes, I think maybe it was also for us as a challenge, because this is a disruptive technology. You don't have any other company in the world that produce something like that, So for us, it's like opening absolutely the new box. And you don't have really a role model there. You don't have someone to copy. So you have to really learn everything from the scratch. And small company, we were very happy to have some partners and suppliers who were involved on the board in the development. And that was also a big challenge for us to involve them.
In the fact, the right partners. Some partners are only to sell their products with us, but not to really to create a new solution, a new comfortable solution for customers. And this was not so easy for us in the last 2 years to work always with the best partner on this point. But in the end, when we have a ranking list, the first point for us is the finance situation. Our finance resources are not really big. We finance everything by ourselves. And at the moment, we use more than €1 million for all of this. And it's not so easy when you are producing hardware to find some venture capitalists to help. Normally, they like more to work only with software products, and it's easier to succeed as our part.
Okay, so like you said, so what were the customer acquisition strategy you had? Like you said, working with a client or working with B2B companies was quite quite challenging initially. So how did you channelize the qualification metrics to choose your customer?
If I hear your question properly, I would answer. So we are B2B in the segment. So for us, it's important to have a distributors and resellers on board, because at the end, they bring the solution to the place. And of course, to build this distributorship, it's a challenge. It's
Yeah.
also helps you because they have a knowledge, they have already some sort of market access, but to get to them, you need to do a certain portion of work. What also MAGNWALL quickly understand that we need to have some brand ambassadors who can really influence the decision of customer to choose MAGNWALL. So we started to build this network as well. And I think for our product, it's very interesting that we also approach a sort of online presence, social media. We go very often on the expos, exhibitions where people can experience the product. Because the product cannot be only visualized in terms of photo or storytelling. People have to see, to touch the product to get important fascination.
Okay, so, considering there might be, it's a product-based company, right? So it has a lot of technology, it has a lot of logistics challenges, it has a lot of distribution challenges across the world. So what particularly do you consider to manufacture a product like this, and what were the strategy you figured it out? So, like for example, I am from India, so I want to have I want to have this MAGNWALL in my company or in my home. So what would be the possible challenges will be there, and how did you how did you categorize it and started to find a solution for it?
I think for every startup, it's very important to be focused.
Yes.
Because the opportunities are massive. The ideas come in very penetrant what to do, but to keep focus, it's the first what you have to do. For us, we are keeping currently focus on the Europe as a market for several reasons. One of the reasons is the certification of the product. Because for instance, we have the lights, they have to be certified, as well as the monitors. You can put the monitor. So we work with the German producers, who basically it's a sort of our strategy to have a local production, to be more quick, flexible, and speedy in the development. This is one topic, but also the topic to be focused on one region to cover this certification and to offer after sales service in the matter that you can afford yourself, because each company has to do sustainably grow. And we don't go now so globally without building basically the European market to the certain level.
Understandable. So the very question I actually wanted to ask, so how did this idea come up in your mind first?
How the idea came? Well, we were sitting under the apple tree, and then the apple fell down.
Because it is pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting when you see something.
The most ideas is coming under the shower.
Yeah, exactly. I would completely agree to that. Even I also have the same concept of thinking a lot of creative ideas under the shower. Yeah, I think many people will agree to that.
This is normal. Well, the water is going, and everything is in movement, and also your thoughts are in movement in this, your brain are in movement in this moment, and then you can develop a lot of new ideas. The first point is you have to understand what can be a problem. And then to see a problem and to think about this problem and in which way you can solve this problem really easy. This is the starting point to find a technical solution from my side. It's really, it's not a joke. Mostly I create the starting points under the shower. My wife told me when I use the shower longer than 15 minutes, she knows
thinking of new ideas.
I think also here played a big role this management consulting background, that you come to always to perfectionize the things. Either it's a process or product. And to be honest, we were focusing so much time on the automotive industry customers, on electronics customers. And you just take this knowledge from those industries and you see how other industries, for instance, in our case, it's interior design architecture, are struggling. And you can bridge those two things and see how you can bring the best practices to the new environment.
This means the important things for us is to be really curious about a lot of ideas, about a lot of new designs, about always go with open eyes into the world, and you will see a lot of possibilities to find a better solutions.
This is something what we really train in MAGNWALL to develop in the employees, this openness, because you often get some inquiries from customers that want to have something specific, special, and so on. And at some point you're thinking, oh, it's not feasible, not makeable, too expensive. But you have to be rather opportunistic and optimistic towards the idea that comes from the customer. And then I think more than 90% you can realize the vision, the idea in practice.
I think in coming years, this MAGNWALL is not just going to be a light, but also going to be a lot of new technology is going to be coming into it. Since as right now, I can see a lot of companies are already has designs prototype for, you know, a light can generate charge for your mobile smartphone devices. So those are the technologies we can see. So Mike,
our ideas to give the base that other technologies can pick up and grow as well. Either it's a TV or loudspeaker, we have also loudspeakers that work here, or it's shelvings or lighting, everything should be possible with technology.
And important for us also as a technical startup that we are not a competitor to some shop feeders or other guys who are working in this area. We are an enabler for them to be more close to the customers and the customer needs. We deliver a technique, and also in 2 years, I'm sure we will deliver a special software that will be that will work really comfortable with your different things.
Okay, so this is a future updates. So it's exclusive for the startup show. They have just shared their future ideas with us. But I'll keep it to the minimal that I don't share it with anyone. But unfortunately, people watch this show. So, but anyway, nobody's going to steal it. Anyway, a lot of other competitors or other people will be trying to disrupt. It's all about how do you make it more creative, and discussing about the creative part. So, what were the marketing strategy when you were working on at the initial phases, finding, like, you know, when you were trying at the first stage, it's not let's say it's not going to be 100% successful sales strategy you have implemented. So how what sales strategy you have implemented from the beginning, and what is the sales strategy you are trying to develop right now to get more customers for you?
I think there are some very important ingredients of both strategies. You have, first of all, understand the real pain of the customer. Even if the customer does not completely understand his pain, but you have to identify it. And in our case, there were several. First one was sustainability. Second one, flexibility. Third one is cost efficiency. Because for retail, you always, people go to shop, people go to experience rather to buy the things in the space. That means that the physical spaces, they have to be more flexible, they have to be more attractive, and they will change their product displays in a more faster way. So if before there were 5 seasons in shops, now in America and US, it's already 10, 12 seasons per year. So flexibility, sustainability, cost efficiency, and the creativity. How to make creativity really flourish and in the retail design. So when you define the pain points, you can really address them in thinking of how your product can help to solve those pain points. This is the most important, I think, marketing thinking that we have to keep. And the second, to go to the sale, you have to, of course, understand the specific of the market. And in our case, it's quite interesting market. So the market, which I would say didn't see innovation for a long time since the introduction of LED technology. Now the innovation is taking more space on digitalization point, so the TVs and so on. but to have an enabler, a system that can allow you to be more flexible and not dependent on hand worker, on electricians, on installation. There were nothing done. So we really saw this lack on the market. We approach it.
So just to add on to this conversation, I just have a very simple question in my mind. Like you said, you are targeting the European audience right now. So considering them, the pricing might be also should be a cost effective. But when you're thinking about expanding, how you're going to tap into other part of the world with that pricing? So how you're going to tackle that challenge in future, in coming near future?
This is so that we see our expansion through the distributorship as a chain. So it really depends on the partner that we have in the local market. So, and also the capabilities and the profile of the partner, because the technology can be transferred, I would say, in a more or less simple way. We just need to find a perfect partner profile for American market, for Southeast Asia. Today, Europe can be served basically from Germany. For us now, it's also very interesting Middle East market, because there we see a huge demand, and this is something what we can also do in terms of pricing from Europe. But as you mentioned, we have a different export duties, we have a different pricing elements to be considered, and to make the final prices for the product in the country A, we have to have a good partner who brings the product to the country A.
So finding the right partner is actually really important for a product company like MAGNWALL. Am I right?
For the expansion, for the hardware expansion, and to bring the physical product further, you really need a local partner. In terms of software, it's different. Software can be done from 2-3 locations. For hardware, you're more dependent on physical partnership.
So how big is MAGNWALL team is right now?
Sorry?
How 8 employees.
Eight employees. Okay, great. So so everyone are based in Germany?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Yes. All are German. But it's an international team.
We are 4 different nations: Turkish, Ukraine, Brazil, and German.
Oh, nice. So, usually, most of the startups prefers to work with part-time freelancers or part-time other from other part of the world. So that's why I just made that question. So it's a bootstrapping company, right?
It's a good question, but I think so.
I can sense a lot of investments might be coming into MAGNWALL.
Yes, we really look currently on the investors who can help us to roll out the product into the market. So we are already on some sort of mature and I would say market proven phase, because we got the really good pilot projects with end customers who are well established retailers in Germany, for instance. So now we just came last week from the exhibition Euroshop calls in Düsseldorf. It's the biggest trade fair show for our technology and all technology for retail and I would say interior design. And there we won several awards, and one of them like for the most innovative solution for architecture. Another is Trend Scouting Award. So, and we got so many, I would say, interesting prospects and leads and feedbacks that we just need to work on it. And of course, with the team of 8 people, you cannot follow up all the topics. So, investment is the big focus for us now to find the proper partner.
So what stage is MAGNWALL right now? Where would you put yourself as a startup right now?
Tricky question. It sounds, as Klaus already mentioned, we were always self-financing. So currently we are looking for venture capitalists who can basically go into the market rollout phase with us. So that's the phase. How you will call it, you have to really define.
No.
But
So since I think you will be working with a lot of clients already right now, so there will be a recurring or an MRR or a ARR generating in the monthly or in an annual basis, right? So how are you going to make it as a 10x growth stage, considering the competitors? Like there are a lot of competitors into technology like this. So how are you going to disrupt them using your technology, and what are the milestones you are looking ahead?
I'm not sure that acoustically I've heard you
Yeah.
properly. Do you mean how we can disrupt the competitors or the companies who work through the artificial intelligence and VR? Wasn't your
Spot on.
question?
So my question, yes, spot on. Just considering other competitors, like there are a lot of competitors into the same technology. So how you going to compete them in this coming future, and what are the plans for growing to a 10x company?
I have to tell you the truth. We are the only one. It sounds maybe
Okay.
arrogant, but we are really open in the blue ocean opportunity.
Yeah.
So I cannot compare us to any other existing company that does, because they don't have this
Okay.
technology in place. Of course,
Okay.
they can make the technology even in spite of our patents and IP rights. But yeah, patent. But nevertheless, we know that we still have some period of time when we really have to bring the technology, the products and technology onto the
Yeah.
scale to the customers, and
Yeah.
we already have the next steps, ideas for the development. So
Yeah.
the only blocker for us currently is the financial resource and human resources. So
Okay.
we need these resources to make the next generation of products and to really satisfy the needs that are still there and that we want to address.
I guess as we had a conversation, like you were also being a featured startup from the Web Summit, if I'm not wrong. So from Web Summit 2019, how was your experience? Because I think it was a crowd of more than 70,000 people and more than 3,000 startups with a lot of investors. So how did you utilize this opportunity, and what are your plans for your next Web Summit for 2020?
I think overall impressions from Web Summit were quite ambiguous, I would say, because as you mentioned, it's a huge crowd.
Yeah.
It's a huge crowd, but nevertheless, 95% of those crowd look in software scalable solutions.
Okay.
So for hardware companies, it's a challenge to find inside of this crowd that investor, that partner that really has a match with you. So this is something what we had as the biggest feeling. We're still checking whether we go the next year to Web Summit. I hope till that time we have on board a good investor that we don't really need to purse this need. But overall for us now, the focus it's rather the marketing and the focus how to bring the sales there. Than just to go to conferences and hear the inputs.
Okay. So since we were discussing about sales strategies, so what particularly is the biggest bottleneck for you as a founder in perspective of sales?
Sorry, come again. I didn't really understand the question. So in perspective of sales, what was the...
Yeah. What is the biggest bottleneck or biggest challenge you're facing as a founder?
When you have the new product, you should communicate. You should be able to communicate the product easy and fast. I think this is the first challenge. The product, our product, as you saw, it's wall, so it's very complex to communicate. So you have to explain to people, because people don't compare pencil A to pencil B. This is something new. So this is the first challenge, I would say. Second challenge is you have to build a network with the market players without making them feel threatened.
Okay.
This is second challenge. And the third challenge, when the technology is disruptive and innovative, people, some of them, some of them really go into that as the first pioneers and leaders, but the majority, they keep on a distance and observe. So now I have the feeling with many potential customers that they are super curious. They really see it, but they still a bit observant it,
Okay.
So, but you have the customers who are saying, yes, let's do it, let's rock it, let's build our windows with that and make it more efficient and sustainable and effective product
This
presentation.
is really great. I think it has, I believe like MAGNWALL has a lot of potential in the coming future with the technologies. And also it is the MAGNWALL is going to be the, as since it has already patented the technology, it is going to be one of the biggest company in the coming future. And I'm pretty sure there is going to be a lot of challenges or a lot of interesting strategies you will be definitely working on. And this is all part of the journey which we all would like to learn from your experiences. And considering the fact that this is just the beginning of an episode 1 which we are just talking about. So this is going to be a continuous process of wherein we'll be discussing about a lot of other strategies on phase 2, like what did you do after getting the investment? Did you use it in the right way to tap into the system, or did you use it in a very interesting strategy, and what strategy did you work on? So this is all what we would like to learn, and you have taught a big lesson today. It's like take shower more than 15 minutes so that you will come up with some new ideas. So so that's a really interesting thing Klaus has mentioned, and definitely I will be taking a shower today. So and apart from that, I'll be definitely love the conversation on sales strategies you discussed today. So it was really wonderful having this conversation with you, part 1. So like I'm mentioning, it's part 1. There will be more conversations coming in, and definitely we want to see where will be MAGNWALL after 3 months or 6 months time. So thank you so much. Yeah, please tell me.
You're welcome to follow us on social media, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and you will see on your own eyes where we
Definitely. I'm so honored that we had this conversation today. Thank you, Klaus. You did amazing today on this show. Thank you for sharing a wonderful experience with us on this show. I'll be definitely looking forward to hear more and more stories in the coming episodes. So we'll keep in touch and stay tuned for more updates from the startup show. This is Roman and Klaus, the founder of MAGNWALL, all the way from Germany. Sharing their experience with us, and this is going to be a regular thing for us to help the community to learn, grow, and experience new strategies, new challenges in the coming years. So thank you once again for joining this show, and we'll meet you with a lot of new other stories in the coming episodes. Stay tuned, and I'll drop all the description down below to MAGNWALL, the demo video, and also will include the LinkedIn connection URL to reach out to Roman for anything related to startup advice or product related strategies in Europe. He will be definitely happy to help you. So thank you once again. So until next time, we'll see you soon with a lot of new stories. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Where you